Ain't this? Hello, everyone. Hope that you're doing great. Sorry for the late start. That was me. And it is time for the Thursday temperature check for Proposal Industry Experts. My name is Ben Klein. I am the Chief Recipe Officer at Proposal Industry Experts. Rochelle, our Chief Bakers Officer, I believe might be showing up a little bit later in the show, but we'll have to see. She is back from whatever wonderful things that she's going on. But today I have, continuing on, our absolutely fabulous guests. I have with us, and sorry, Anna, I'm going to mispronounce your name. Berkovich?
Yeah, no, you did it. Yeah, that's good.
And this is, like, now that I've gotten that one correctly, I'm going to mess up on Ann Walker.
No, you got it.
This is unheard of for a Proposal Industry Expert show. Like, huge mangle names. Anyways, these are two of our fantastic speakers at this year's RFWIN Camp Pi. They're going to be talking. We're going to tease out some information about what they're going to be talking about in their presentations, just to give you a taste of what's happening. Tickets are on sale right now. Yeah. And then I believe that we're even going to close with the Tales from the Pitch. So a super exciting session for us. So let's get started. So before we actually go into talking about, what you're going to be talking about, why don't we do some introductions here? So Ana Berkovich, tell us about yourself.
Hi, my name's Anna. I've been writing proposals for about 3 years now, and literally got started because my best friend Beth, who you work with, was like, "Hey, you should do this job," and turns out I really love it. And I write, I mostly do proposals for the commercial industry, so
Me too.
mostly banking. Yeah.
Sorry, and so commercial banking, you said?
Commercial banking, yeah.
Wow, what are those like? I don't do a lot of financial proposals.
They're very long and tedious. Yep.
You're really selling it to the audience right now. I feel everyone's banging down their door to, like, well,
yes.
I would love to do your proposals.
All right. Yeah, sign up. It's great.
You think that'd be fun, like with all the fintech going on and all the interesting things happening in the financial world. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. No. I guess they have heavy regulation though. All right.
So much regulation.
That's fair. All right. And how long have you been doing that now?
About 3 years. And I'm also trying to find a charger because I'm on my phone. So if I disappear, I'm sorry. It's just because I was finding a charger.
That's fabulous. I think I'm having the same issue with Anne. Anne, it's off to you. Tell us about yourself.
It's a little folder icon that's like dead. It's got like the cross eyes. So I've never had that before. I don't know what's going on.
Sorry. Okay. Well, hopefully we can keep you for a little while then. So, and are you in the proposal industry as well, from what I understand? Oh. Wouldn't be a pie session, ladies and gentlemen, without a few technical difficulties. This is the way of it. Okay. All right. I will see what we can do to bring them on. So from what from Anne's and Anne's coming in a different way.
I am trying Microsoft Edge, which is really terrifying that that's where we're at technologically wise. So I don't have a lot of hope that it's gonna work.
What browser are you on right now?
Well, I was using Chrome, and now I'm using Edge.
Okay.
We'll see. Maybe it won't crash.
Okay. Are you, from a curiosity standpoint, are you a hardcore Google user? Is that sort of what I should be getting from this?
No, have not had great experiences with Internet Explorer like everyone else. So I just
Okay.
like immediately get on a new computer and download Chrome.
Fair. Fair.
So,
Okay. All right. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself then? You're in the proposal industry as well.
yeah.
AEC, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, AEC, so construction and engineering. I've actually primarily worked at engineering firms. That was not the plan. I have a bachelor's and master's degree in sociology, and I did
Whoa.
social work for 5 years. And then I was about to turn 26 and realized I was going to get booted from my parents' health insurance and was like, oh crap, I need a job that gives me health insurance. So I ended up taking a receptionist job at an engineering company, kind of got into marketing through that. And 10 years later, I both have health insurance and am still in AEC proposals and marketing. And I'm one of the weird ones in marketing for AEC that actually likes proposals. Most people try to do everything but proposals marketing wise. So I don't know what that says about me as a person, but here we
All right. Fair. And with all those technical difficulties, Beth says that we are still doing great up here. So appreciate that, Beth. All right. So while Anna looks for a charger, why don't we get started with RFWIN? So you submitted an application for us, and we were super excited because, of course, this is something that's probably going to be affecting firms for the near future around change management, right? Is that
are. I think forever. Just
okay?
change management is just something always has to change. I
Okay.
think that's it's corporate life.
Fair enough. So, what got you interested in talking about this?
So I think for me, I've worked for a couple different firms. I've redone proposal processes, go no go processes, interview prep processes, um, at all these different firms for all sorts of different teams. And I've probably attended 100 webinars or conferences or different topic speakers on like, oh, if you use this model or if you use this model, you'll get rid of the burnout and be successful and all of that kind of stuff. And what I've found from all of that is that pieces of everything that I've learned have worked, but I've never been able to take a model and apply it to a firm and have it consistently deliver the results I'm looking for. And I think a lot of, across any industry when you're writing proposals, the biggest issue that I've experienced and I hear others experiencing is getting that technical content from your SMEs, and the battle of, they dump 4 pages of content on you the night before it's due. There are tears, there is stress, there's the whole thing. And you can have any amount of processes, but I haven't found one that actually solves that problem. So what I've learned in the last couple of years is to be a little bit more honest with myself about the culture of the firm that I'm working within. Does that firm hold their SMEs accountable, or do they kind of let them do whatever they want? And so what I'm going to be talking about is how to look at the firm that you're in and look at the context around you and figure out different systems that will work with the very real people that you work with. Because they are people. They're not going to be ideal to work with every day. Your firm leadership is leading however they're leading, and that is going to impact whether or not your processes are respected. And so I really want to take this whole conversation about bringing in a process to help you not experience burnout, but bringing in a process that will work, because it's very easy to bring in a process, even get your leadership to say, oh my gosh, this is so great. We should have always been doing that. You spent all this time making diagrams and flowcharts, and it's beautiful, and everyone is happy, and there's a PowerPoint presentation. And then within 2 weeks, you can't get a single person who has to use the process to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, so my presentation is going to be mostly about taking a step back, assessing where you are at, where your company is at, where your culture is at, and figuring out, okay, what can I realistically get people to do? Where can we actually bring in different systems, AI assistants, people who among our technical staff will advocate for me when I need it? And just having that honest conversation with yourself or with your team if you're leading or working with a team, and figuring out something that actually works.
Yeah, I love this. I love all of this. We work with a number of consulting firms at Pi, and this is often echoed as like many people think that they need like a better tool and everything like that. But honestly, it all comes down to like, well, what does your process look like? Like, what are the things that you're doing currently? Is anything working? Is anything not working? This is fabulous. I love this idea. Now, you mentioned a go, no go, however, and so I often consider that as part of the process at the
Mm-hmm.
beginning and an important one. I struggle with some of my clients as well because they don't have robust and don't desire to have robust go, no go processes. Do you have something to speak on for that, or will you be
Yeah,
speaking on?
I mean, I think that I've found like one of two things to be true.
Yeah.
Either they don't have a go no go process at all, and it's throwing spaghetti at the wall, or they have a really robust go no go process and they choose to throw spaghetti at the wall anyway. Um, so I think I have built probably three different go no go forms, matrices, however you want to frame it. And I have learned that a hybrid approach has worked really well for me. Yes, the form and the score and all of that has its place, but again, kind of understanding the different people that would actually be doing work on the proposal, understanding the context behind the client, understanding when to override that go no go, or when to bypass it, and other times when to use it to kind of hold the line. So, yeah, I think go no goes are a really interesting thing because I am an advocate for having a process,
Yeah.
but I also understand that there are times where the number or the score, they're either going to ignore it because they want to chase this thing anyway. Um, or you can kind of come up with this sort of meet in the middle point where it's like, okay, yes, we have this score. I'm going to give you this one, and this is why. But if you come back and we lose this, and this client issues the same thing, we're not doing it again, kind of
Yeah.
situation. So I have found the score to be helpful, but the conversation to be really where the decision gets made.
Yeah.
People love chucking the score in the bin and being like, but I had lunch with this guy 4 years ago and he was great. So
Yeah.
I think we should propose.
Yeah. No, I hear you 100%. As a matter of fact, I'm working on a bid right now where the salesperson was straight out in the kind of kickoff meeting, and he said, "Hey, we're probably going to lose this bid, but it's really important for us to respond because of X, Y, Z, right?
Right.
Like, we expect like the incumbent to like take this position, and we expect that they'll fall on their face a little bit, and then when they revisit this in 24 months, this is our lead in to
Right.
future business
And
and stuff."
I think there's something to be said about like once you kind of get your team to understand the rules and follow the rules, then they're allowed to break them.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying there's never a time to go after a proposal that you'll probably lose. Sometimes there are, but until you understand why that is wrong 99% of the time, you don't get to decide this is the 1% of the time that it's okay to do that.
Yeah. That's fabulous. I'm super excited, Anne, about your talk. I'm really looking forward to it. Hopefully, I don't know. I think you're in my track. I think you're in the recipes track.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Beth will like chime in, and it's like, yes, yes, Beth. She's in the recipes. But anyways, I'll be hosting you, so it'll be great. We'll have lots of fun. We'll have lots of fun. All right, Anne, I'm going to switch back to you when we get to the tales from the pitch version. But let's get Anna while her phone still has battery power. And I want you to
Yeah.
know something. You may not be aware of this. I have a little tiny bit of OCD, but only around battery charging. So you you are living my nightmare right now. Like,
It went down so fast. I wasn't expecting it. And then I plugged it in and then it was like, oh, I'm just going to update right now. And I was like, cool, I don't have anywhere I need to be. Awesome. Take your time.
All right, there we go. Well, from the audience, just before we switch over to you, so I feel like proposals is never the plan, even though it has plans for us. And I think this is in response to your comment about how you came in to the industry.
I
And
don't
then,
know anyone who was like went to college and said, "I'm gonna do proposal." I didn't even like that was not. I didn't even know that was an option.
yeah, fair enough, fair enough. And then we also have this individual saying, "You're all doing great. Thank you, Priscilla. You're we appreciate that. We appreciate that." All right, so Anna, you also presented an application to RFWIN, but yours is a little bit different. Like you just told me that your kind of your bids are long and boring and everything like that, but that's not your topic. Your
Mhm.
topic is around how to get
Is
storytelling into
that?
your proposals, right?
Yes, it's how to make those long, boring bids actually interesting.
All right, talk me through
So,
this because I do sometimes look at my
yeah,
bids and think like some poor schmuck has to go through this. So
right, right. So, we're going to be looking at definitely more at the executive summary. That's, I think, where we can all agree is where you're going to get your most impact. But we're going to be looking at how to convey through writing and also through graphs and other images to really sell your story. So whether that's like how you can actually, I think I mentioned earlier, I come from baking, and sometimes we can actually help people make more money with our services. And so, how are we able to convey that adequately and excitingly? Is excitingly a word? It is now. I spoke it into existence. Um, get that across in your proposal. So I'll be going over a couple that I've done that I feel like are really successful and really interesting in the ways that we incorporated storytelling. And then I'm also going to share one where we completely failed and
okay.
we did not tell the correct story, and because of that, we lost the bid.
Oh
So we're
wow.
gonna, yeah, yeah, and we were given feedback to that effect, and so um, yeah, we're gonna go over those.
That's that's amazing. I'm actually more impressed that you were able to get feedback on like what actually caused you to lose, and they linked it to something in the RFP. I rarely hear that. Like sometimes I
Yes,
hear like, "Oh, I wish your RFP had been a little bit cleaner. It was hard to read and stuff like that." But I rarely get like, "Hey, you turned
hmm
us off with your submission." So
I
that's
know, right? I know. We
that,
got that feedback, and originally I was like really upset we lost this bid, but then I was like, I'm also kind of happy that you gave me that feedback, though. I'm still sad we lost, but
I was
you
even a
made it
little
a
bit
little bit easier.
excited that they
oh
actually read it. Like
yeah
you're like, you read my
Mhm.
proposal? Because my assumption is they don't read
yeah.
it.
Exactly.
So I mean, Anna, you may look at it as a you may look at it as defeat, but like it sounds like it was interesting enough to read. Like
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we
what?
still maybe we did. We didn't sell our product well, but we
Yeah.
sold something.
Okay, okay. So when you're constructing a story then, like are you I mean, we've had storytellers before in RF and stuff
Mhm.
like that. We had some people talk about kind of the hero's journey, like the idea of positioning the buyer as like a hero and like yourself
That's
as
so
the guide.
interesting. That is not at all how I was looking at it. So,
Oh,
um,
something new.
I that's really cool though. I like that. So no, I just have a background in creative writing. Um, and so I want to how I apply that to this. So using more storytelling, storytelling, sure, if that's a
Oh,
definition.
we're losing you a little bit, I think here. And I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's all me in my closet. Yeah, I'm in my office in a closet, so
Yeah,
I apologize. I probably should have done.
no worries. I'm gonna cut you a little bit, but
Go ahead.
yeah. I feel so bad though because I'm really interested. I really believe that like telling a good story inside a bid, like sorry, and this is my humble opinion, no one else's. I really believe that I agree with Christina's Carter's comment that like we should try to own the win as much as we can because that's the only way we're going to get funding for our departments. But I also kind of accept in my heart that the best thing that my bid can really do is make them look forward to meeting my team. Like that's kind of the goal, because the team will sell it in the end, right? Like no one's going to buy something from my bid. And so with that, I really do like the idea of like telling an interesting story, because I'm going through a procurement process right now where we had to read through like 6 vendors, and honestly, by the 3rd vendor, I was just like exhausted and bored, and I was skimming to parts that I thought were important, and I'm like, this is not a good procurement process. So I really do like this idea. How's your internet right now? Let's give a voice just for fun.
Can you hear me? I love what you're saying. I totally support you.
All right, fair enough. So you've been trying this. Do you have a formalized process for storytelling inside of it, or just like you yourself, like, hey, I'm the master storyteller of my company, and everything kind of filters through me? Is what's the idea here? Like, is this something?
Yeah,
Oh, sorry, you go.
a little bit of both. I'm a little bit of both. I'm trying to better articulate. I picked up that I was able to do this a little bit better, probably because of my background. And so I'm trying to nail down exactly what it is that I'm doing and how I'm presenting that information so that the others on my team can also harness that skill.
Okay.
So this is kind of part of it as I'm teaching. Bye.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right.
Did you lose me again? Good.
Tiny bit. We're losing you. Anyway, so listen, this is great. It looks like you might also be in the recipes track. That means I get 2 people that I'm going to be hanging out with. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to your pieces. And if you haven't tried to get into RFWIN right now, tickets are still available. If you are a Pi member, you get this for free. So become a Pi paid member, and away you go to this conference. So really looking forward to both your topics. Now, with that in mind, it is 11:23 my time, 2:23 for the East Coast, and then who knows what all over the world. Now, for the 2 of you, we try to close these sessions with what we call a Tales from the Pitch. And this comes from an old habit I had of when I went to conferences where I met other proposal professionals, I would try to get a story out of them. Now, I've been in the business for a while. Like usually it was like something around printing, like printer went bad, ink overflowing, and stuff like that. But since then, we've had lots of crazy stories. We've had people where they've had portals that had like panels that just kept appearing and appearing and appearing as you tried to submit. We had one group that had to like keep pinching each other to keep each other awake because they've been working so long. We've had a woman who like got off. She tried to enter the company's headquarters on her GPS, and it took her to an entirely different part of the city. So yeah, we've had all the stories, and Anne, it sounds like you might have a story for us today.
I do have a story for you.
Yeah.
I love learning lessons on the job. So I think most people know that in an ideal world, your SMEs or client champions or whatever you call them would reach out to the references you're using in a proposal and make sure that they're still happy with you, etc. I am realistic. I tell them to do it every proposal, and every proposal, I would say they do not do it. So I also learned the hard way that it is important to Google your references in case they have died. Because we had a scenario where we used a reference. We thought great reference. We had been using this reference consistently for probably 6 months. So finally a client calls the reference and tells me in our debrief, yeah, he's been dead for like 18 months. Sure enough, I Google, his obituary pops up. It was like a whole unexpected, like, I don't know if it was like a car accident or whatever it was. He still held the job when he died. It wasn't like he had retired and whatever. So that was real awkward. Like, sorry, one of the 3 references you asked for is no longer with us. So Google your references for your own sake, because your SMEs will not contact them, even if they say they will, and make sure they are not dead.
I think Jen speaks for us all with "Holy wow."
Holy wow!
I love your deadpan though of like real awkward. Yeah.
There is no saving face in that.
Did you win? I'm so curious. Did they show this?
You know, I don't even remember because I think I was so just like traumatized and appalled that we had done that I couldn't tell you what kind of project it was for. I don't remember. Like, my sole memory is like, oh my God, we've been using him for 6 months regularly. I wasn't, at least I knew then which clients called references and which didn't, because
Yep.
all the ones that, we'd proposed to had clearly not called him. So I guess that's one thing. But yeah, no idea if we won or lost. That is the thing that's like that flashbulb memory of someone being like, yeah, hey, by the way. So Google your references.
Google your references, people.
Yeah.
Like here's our take. The temp check, ladies and gentlemen, teaching you real actionable lessons right here. All right, so it is 11:27. I want to be cognizant of your time. Thank you both so much for donating your time. Where can they find you? Is it on LinkedIn? Is it in a community? Do you have a website? And
Oh,
you first? Yeah,
LinkedIn. That's
yeah.
that's the only place I am. I'm an
Okay.
elder millennial. Yeah. I thank God have people on my team who can figure out our TikTok, because I wait for everything to trickle down to Instagram Reels,
Yeah,
and have like no
Mhm.
social media strategy of my own. So LinkedIn is where I am, but I am actively on LinkedIn, so I will respond there.
perfect. So we'll get your stuff into the show notes. And Anna, how about you? They find you on LinkedIn as well. Are
I
you
can.
also an elder millennial?
I am also an elder millennial, but you can find me on LinkedIn. I might take a couple seconds to respond to you, but I will. And yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Well, as the elder in the room, I hope all of your bids are doing fantastic. Hope you're going into the weekend with a chance to like reset and be yourselves. Hope that you're having a lot of fun out there. Anyways, this has been the temperature check for Thursday. Looking forward to seeing you at RFWIN, and yeah, stay safe out there. Thanks so much, everyone, for coming. Bye bye.